What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am in beautiful Las Vegas right now, and I felt like this was a great time to test out the new iPhone 11. I'm actually shooting on the 11 Pro Max today, paired with the Moment macro lens. I feel like the desert is a great landscape to use the macro lens in, so we're gonna test it out. But instead of just shooting and showing you the photos, I wanted this to be helpful for those of you beginning out in macro photography. Can be a little difficult to figure out at first. So I'm gonna give you 5 beginner tips for macro photography. Let's get to it. Tip number 1 is to always shoot with plenty of light. That may sound really obvious or really simple, but it is true. Macro photography really isn't going to work in low light or at nighttime unless you have special equipment. Lighting is key for macro photography so you can see each fine detail in your subject. The whole point of macro photography is to get up close and personal with whatever you're shooting, right? Having enough light is going to get you there. That is your vehicle. I shot these photos in very bright, harsh daylight. It was probably 2 hours before sunset, and you can see that the photos really benefit from having tons of sunlight. And this isn't to say you can only shoot in natural light for macro photography. That is not true. We've actually shot in the studio with the macro lens if you want to go check that out, but studio lighting does work as well. As long as you have enough light, you'll be good. Something to note, I have had trouble shooting directly into light with the macro lens. It does not handle lens flares and really direct harsh light very well at all, so be sure to watch out for that. Tip number 2 is to shoot a lot and to shoot fast. This may mean that you shoot in burst mode or manually you're just kind of going off on the shutter button like a crazy person. This will guarantee that you're getting nice, tight, crisp shots. It is really easy to get blurry, unusable images with macro photography, even with the slightest of movement, either from the camera or from the subject. So, shooting in burst or just really fast is going to help you guarantee to get that nice, crisp shot.
You gotta know the truth, because the truth will set you free.
Tip number 3 allows you to show off your subject in the best way you possibly can. Because you are shooting so up close with a macro lens, sometimes your subject can be so abstract you can't even decipher what it is. So, to provide context, be sure to shoot from multiple angles and vantage points, and shoot more than one photo of the same subject so that you can show it off comprehensively. Tip number 4 is all about creating depth. This can be really hard to do with macro photography because the subjects you're dealing with in macro photography are typically very tiny. So the easiest way I've found is to push your lens into your subject just a little bit more than maybe you'd like. That will bring a part of your subject in front of the area in focus, causing it to blur and then creating a really beautiful depth effect. Do note that when you push into your subject, you're probably gonna have parts of it touching the macro lens. That is perfectly fine. There's no problem with that. Okay, and my last and final tip, tip number 5. Use your macro lens like it's a magnifying glass or a microscope. Use it to explore. This will help you find things that the naked eye maybe couldn't see. You may find a bug or a new texture you didn't see originally, or even a part of the subject that you didn't even know existed. Basically, have fun with it and use this lens to explore things you're already shooting or things that you wouldn't normally think to shoot. Macro photography really is so much fun because it is so exploratory and it is nothing like the naked eye. So get out there, have some fun, shoot some macro, send us some images. It's as easy as that.